Did you know that there is an almost secret method that allows the Amish to preserve rolled oats for up to 25 years without losing a single gram of their quality? In times where food security is key and the feeling of fear of collapse is increasingly intense, they have a simple but surprising solution. And the best thing is that you can do it at home. In addition, you can also use it in your business, securing the products in your warehouse. The funny thing is that this method does not require refrigeration, electricity, or chemical preservatives. I'm going to show you step by step how they do it and how you can replicate it so you'll be prepared in any circumstance, just like the Amish have done for generations. Imagine having your pantry full of oats and other basic foods perfectly preserved, ready to use when you need it most without worrying about expiration. It is a technique that has gone unnoticed, but today I am going to reveal it to you. Stay until the end to discover the 5 steps of this simple but foolproof process. Because once you learn it, you will have the key to preserving not only oats, but many other grains for years. This is where most get it wrong at first. There are oats that preserve better than others. Why do you think the Amish focus so much on this detail? It's simple. The quality of the grain is the basis of everything. The oat flakes you choose should be clean, without contaminants or traces of moisture. This is critical. Moisture is the #1 enemy of any type of long-term storage. In my first attempts, I made the mistake of using poor quality oats from a supermarket, and although they seemed well sealed, they were not ready for long-term storage. From my own experience, I learned that locally grown oats, well processed, are the best. But since it will not be possible to obtain it in all cases, try to make the oats as whole and of the best quality as possible. The Amish like to use organic oats without chemicals or unnecessary treatments, because they understand something that many large industries have ignored. Nature is best preserved when we do not manipulate it too much. Have you ever wondered why processed products often have that chemically stabilized label? The short answer, because manufacturers look for quick solutions. But the Amish have opted for patience and natural quality, and it has worked for them for centuries. If your oats are not organic, don't worry, you can also store them without problems. Keep watching the video and write down each step. The key to the longevity of these grains is not only choosing quality oats, but how you prepare them before storing them. This is where it gets interesting. The Amish using traditional methods. First, make sure the rolled oats are completely dry. This is a crucial step. Any trace of moisture and the entire process will fall apart in a matter of months. It's no exaggeration. Moisture is what triggers mold and decay. I once faced a similar situation in a small warehouse I set up in the countryside. Moisture was a constant problem, and although I intended to preserve my food longer, I failed to ignore this warning. The Amish use techniques such as drying outdoors, under shade or in ventilated rooms, without artificially speeding up the process. No modern or expensive equipment is necessary, just patience and good control of the environment. Have you ever tried drying your own food this way? Leave your answer in the comments. Here lies the real magic. The Amish use glass containers with tight-fitting lids. And no, they are not the same jars that you can find in any supermarket. These jars are carefully selected to ensure a perfect seal. I remember a conversation I had with a friend who also lives off the grid. He told me that he tried using plastic vacuum bags to store his grains. And although it worked for a while, eventually the oats lost their freshness. But the Amish don't trust plastics or modern technologies that eventually fail. They choose glass because it is neutral and resistant. And here I give you a technical fact. Glass does not allow gas exchange, which means that oxygen, that invisible agent that oxidizes everything in its path, cannot penetrate. Zero oxygen, zero decomposition. Think about what this means. You can store oats for decades, and when you open them, they will be as fresh as the day you close them. One of the most ingenious steps is the use of oxygen absorbers. And no, we are not talking about those little bags that you find in commercial products. The Amish, true to their philosophy of avoiding chemicals, opt for much more natural and simple solutions such as the use of clay or activated charcoal. In some cases, they even use vacuum sealing techniques, but without relying on electricity. A close friend who lives in a completely off-grid cabin replicated this method and told me how he was able to preserve oats and rice in perfect condition for more than 10 years. It's almost as if time has not passed for those foods clay and activated charcoal are known for. Their ability to absorb gases and moisture safely and without affecting food. This is essential for those seeking food independence and resilience. Have you ever experimented with these methods? I would love to hear your experience in the comments. And in the meantime, let's see the step-by-step to use charcoal or clay to preserve oats. To preserve oats efficiently using activated charcoal or clay, the main goal is to control humidity and prevent the grains from spoiling or developing mold. Both materials are excellent natural moisture absorbers, and their application is quite simple. First, you must choose between activated charcoal or desiccant clay, such as bentonite, both available in powder or pellet form. The key is that they must be contained in a bag of breathable fabric, such as cotton or gauze. Activated charcoal, in addition to absorbing moisture, eliminates odors, while clay stands out for being a completely natural and reusable option. Once you have the material in a well-tied bag, place it inside the container where you will store the oats. This bag will absorb any excess moisture, keeping the environment dry and helping to prolong the freshness of the oats for much longer. It is important to check the bag periodically. If you see that it has accumulated a lot of moisture or seems saturated, it will be time to replace it with a new one to ensure optimal conservation of the oat flakes. This is where many fail, but the Amish are clear. Storage is almost as important as preparation. What's the point of doing everything right if you end up placing the jars in a place with temperature fluctuations or where moisture can seep in? A cool, dry basement is ideal, or failing that, a well-ventilated warehouse. I remember having problems with my own jars when I stored them in a shed that wasn't ventilated enough. I learned the hard way that even the best seal can fail if the environment is not right. The Amish, on the other hand, are meticulous. Their pantries are specifically designed to keep food stable, with constant temperatures and away from direct light. Many think that this is a simple task, but here is another interesting technical fact. Constant temperatures reduce the possibility of condensation inside the jar. Even a small change in room temperature can produce micro-water droplets inside the jar, and that's all it takes for mold to take over your precious beans.